So hi guys, my name is Nachiketa. Welcome back to another video. In this video I'm gonna be talking about gradient descent, which is one of the most fundamental concepts that you need to know when you're learning about machine learning and deep learning. I'm extremely excited for this video because I'm gonna teach you what gradient descent is, the equation for it, but that's not really important. What's important is for you to understand the physical significance behind the equation. So when I actually teach you that, I'm going to show you the equation and make you understand why it absolutely makes sense and what the significance behind that is and how you can make it better. So this is going to be a very interesting video, so make sure you watch it till the end and let me know him. So this is going to be a very interesting video, so make sure you watch it till the end. So what you're seeing on the screen is everything that you need to know about gradient descent, but for now let's start from the basics. Alright, so what happens in machine learning or deep learning? You have some output, right, and you are trying to make some predictions. For example, let's say you're trying to make a model that tells you about the weather. So over here there's going to be one actual output, which is the actual weather, and the predicted output, which means what your model is trying to tell you, right? This could be for any type of problem, whether you're trying to predict, whether you're trying to classify images of cats and dogs, or you're trying to build self-driving cars. There's always going to be one desired output and one actual output. So the actual output in this case is represented by y and predicted output by y hat. This is a very common representation that you're going to find in a lot of places. Now when you have these two, right, you have a loss function which basically defines how bad your model is. So there are many different types of loss functions, which I'm not going to talk about now, but basically every loss function is going to take your actual output, desired output. It could either subtract it, take a square of it, or maybe use some log function. Basically they're just going to see how far apart was your actual output and your predicted output. This will give you a number, right, telling you how bad your model is. So this equation over here is that of linear regression. So basically there is one output x, and to calculate the output, this model basically takes that input, multiplies by some weight, let's say w1 in this case, and adds some constant which is also called as the bias. So basically in any machine learning model or deep learning models, you have various inputs, and from these various inputs you have to calculate the output. So for that, each input is assigned some importance, and these importance is nothing but the weights, right? So for linear regression, it just takes the input, multiplies by the weight, and adds the bias, and you get the output. Irrespective of linear regression, in any model, the goal is going to be to find the best combination of these weights that will give you a minimum loss. For example, let's say the desired output temperature for a particular day is 10 degrees Celsius, and you want to predict that. So y hat should be 10 degrees. The goal is that. So you're trying to substitute different values of w1 and b until you get there, right? That is the goal. You basically have to find the correct set of weights, or basically correct importance of each input. So how does gradient descent exactly do this? Let me show you the equation for that, and then we'll get to the actual significance behind it. So the equation is pretty simple, right? So you have a particular weight, let's say w of t, which is basically at a particular time step t. So you start with a random set of weights. Let's say you initialize w as 3 or 4 or 0. You basically take a random weight, and in each iteration you're going to change it. Question is, how are you going to change it to get the desired loss? The weight at a particular time step is going to be equal to the weight at the previous time step t minus 1 minus a learning rate. The symbol stands for basically learning rate into the derivative of loss with respect to weight. Now if this is the first time you're seeing this equation, it can be a little scary, but I'm going to make it a lot more simple. Now forget about this equation for some time, right? Basically you have to keep in mind that when you're trying out different values of weight, you're going to get different output. As a result, you're going to get different values of the loss function, right? So in this plot, what I'm showing is, on the x-axis you have the weight, on the y-axis you have the corresponding loss. So basically for different values of w on the x-axis, you're getting different combinations, you're getting different values for the loss. Now this is only two-dimensional, but if you have multiple weights, let's say you have 1000 weights, then this graph would expand into 1000 dimensions. But because we cannot visualize that, I'm taking a two-dimensional graph for simplicity. Also, this curve that you see is always going to be convex, which means it's going to only have one minima, because most loss functions are designed such that they are convex functions. So you can safely assume that most of the loss functions that you're going to use are going to have a curve looking like this. Now let's get to the main point. As I said, you start by randomly taking a set of weights. When, let's say you started with a random weight, let's say W of t, and you got a particular loss somewhere on this curve over here, right, where the green circle is highlighting. So from over here, you want to get closer to the minimum. How are you going to do that? To understand this, let's take an ideology. Let's assume that this is a particular hilltop, right, and this red stick figure that I've drawn is basically you who is standing at the top of the mountain, right, and your goal is to climb down to the bottom. The trick is you're blindfolded. How are you going to do that? Basically, you're going to take a step forward and you're going to feel how the mountain's slope is changing. This slope is called as the gradient. If you feel that the slope is going down, you're going to take steps forward. If you feel that the slope is going up, you're going to take steps backward to reach the bottom, right? So basically, if you're anywhere to the right side of the center, you want this guy to move towards the left. And if you are on the left side of this curve, you want this stick figure to move towards the right. So let's see how the gradient descent equation is actually going to help you do that, right? So let's look at this. So basically, you can see on the right hand side of the minima, the slope is going to be positive. You know that because as the weight is increasing over here, the loss value is increasing, which means the slope is positive. And on the left side and on the left hand side of the minima, if you increase the weight, the loss is going to decrease, which means the slope is negative. So let's look at what the equation is going to look like on the right hand side and the left hand side. So basically, if you're going to be at any point on the right hand side, the weight updation equation is going to be looking like this. So Wt is going to be equal to Wt minus 1 minus, let's assume this learning rate to be some positive value, let's say 2, into the derivative, and the derivative is going to be a positive value, which means if you look at this equation, the weight is basically going to decrease. So if the weight decreases, you're going to move towards the left side as we want it, right? And if you're on the left hand side of the curve, you want the weight to move towards the right, which means you want the weights to increase. So if you look at the equation, Wt is equal to Wt minus 1 minus the learning rate, which is, let's say, 2 for example, into the derivative, and the derivative is negative. So this equation is gonna just end up increasing the weight, right? Because negative into negative is gonna be a positive value. So basically, whenever you're on the right hand side, you're gonna shift the weights towards the left, and when you're on the left hand side of the minima, you're gonna shift the weights towards the right, or you're basically gonna increase it. So that is the physical significance, and there are a lot of variations of gradient descent as well. And I'm sure if you understand this diagram, if you understand this concept, you can figure it out on your own. For example, let's say you're this guy and you're at the top of the curve, right? You're at the top of the curve on the right hand side. So the bottom is a long way away, right? So you want to take bigger steps, which means you kind of want to increase the learning rate. So the higher the learning rate, the higher your step is going to be, the bigger the weight updation is going to be. So at the top of the curve, you want the learning rate to be a big number. And when you're near the bottom, right, you're so very close, you want this stick figure to take smaller steps to reach the bottom. So you can basically imagine that these stick figures are basically going to be taking jumps, right, to reach the bottom. And when they reach when they are very close to the bottom, you want to take smaller and smaller steps so that you reach right at the bottom. So the size of the step is nothing but the learning rate, right? And other variations that you're going to see are simply going to change how quick and slow the weight updation is going to be. So I hope you understood this concept. If you did like this video, do like it, and if you want other videos on different optimizers, do leave that in the comments, and see you in the next video.